fossil fuels still the number one energy source in industry's portfolio, maybe 80%. What are you guys doing at GE specifically with regard to that, and where do you see the portfolio, your portfolio at GE, say 5 years from now?
So, Andy, in power generation and energy, 5 years is like a second in time. If you start a nuclear power plant today, it would be 15 years before it entered into service, or 12 years. So you have to stay focused on what's practical and what can be done. I think when I look at, let's say, the next 10 or 15 years globally, you're probably going to see more of a shift towards gas and renewables versus just coal, which has been dominant for probably the last 25 or 30 years. Carbons will still be the vast majority of power generation, let's say 10, 15, 20 years. Treated energy, the advantage a company like GE has is breadth. So we basically have a bet on every technology. We're in solar, we're in wind, we're in coal, we're in gas, and we're driving technology around all those. The two biggest surprises, I'd say, over the last decade are no one would have ever guessed that natural gas would be $3 or $4 in the United States, but it is. I can't look at one GE pro forma that ever predicted that, but that is a massive game changer driven by technology. And solar energy was 30 cents a kilowatt hour a decade ago. Today it's 10. Wind is maybe 7 or 6 cents a kilowatt hour. So gas and renewables will have a big advancement. The last thing I'd say, Andy, is for Americans of my generation, we learned energy innovation in Europe. I think those days are over. I think increasingly the incremental buyer of energy is here in China. And so all of the technologies have to fit what happens here in China versus looking at other markets around the world.